Hey guys, it's Nick from The Boy of Sugar Makeup Artistry. Keep watching if you would like to see how I created this dark glam vampire look. First, what you need to know is that I've glued my eyebrows down completely with a glue stick. I've also applied serum and moisturizer. I've also put an eye cream on. I'm going to be wearing a lot of stuff underneath the eye. I have also primed my skin with the Professional Primer by Benefit. Again, I used this in my last video, and the reason why I use it is because it floats over top of the skin. It retexturizes the skin so that when makeup lays over it, it looks a lot cleaner and softer, especially in photographs. The very first thing that I'm going to do is give myself an all-over color. What I'm going to use for that is Kat Von D's Lock It Foundation, her liquid foundation in 42. It's the lightest shade that she carries, and it is actually a little bit paler than I am, believe it or not. Mehron's Cream Stick in white. I'm also going to be using some blue and red in this Makeup Forever 12 Flash color case. I want to neutralize my skin tone. I have a little bit of yellow in my skin, and the opposite of yellow is purple. You're gonna make sure that you set it in between layers too. I use Ben Nye's Neutral Set. I used this in my first video. The reason why I use this is because it sets everything very, very well. It also is colorless, so it's not going to actually change the color of the makeup, although I don't really mind if it gets a little bit lighter because that's kind of what I'm going for. I'm really sort of going for that I'm a corpse and I just crawled out of a 6-foot deep pit kind of look. Obviously, as you notice, my eyebrows are still showing through a little bit, so that's another reason why you have to set your makeup, is so that you can layer more makeup on top of it. Now that you can see I look like an albino and my eyebrows are almost covered, you're going to start rendering into the eye area. So one of the things that I like to use the most, I showed this in my last video, Star Blend by Mehron. I use this because it is very black. You can also now see how yellow my teeth are. It's probably because I drink 700 pounds of coffee a day. Now I'm gonna start laying down some red from my Flash palette around the eyes. I'm going to be using Sephora's Pro Airbrush Concealer Brush. I'm now going to start shaping my eyes with some black makeup. Kat Von D's Black Liner in Trooper. Before I go into too much more detail on my eye area, I'm going to add some contacts. These ones are called Innocent White and they are by Desio. We're going to start putting a more purplish color underneath the eye area, something that's going to make me look really drawn and sick. Now I'm going to start contouring my eye area before I add the glitter onto my lid. And I'm going to use a red and black to deepen that area, and I'm going to sort of fade it into what I already have going on right now. I'm going to be using a really fluffy crease brush for this. This one is by Tokidoki. I have this Too Faced holiday palette from maybe like 3 years ago, and I'm going to be using this Cherry Cola color to go into my crease. I'm going to mix it probably with some black as well. What I'm now going to do is I'm going to make sure that I'm re-emphasizing a little bit of a highlight right underneath this brow that I've created. Basically, you just want to get that eyebrows on fleek look. Just kidding. If you ever say the word fleek around me, I'm going to take your tongue and I'm going to rip it out with a pair of scissors. Now I'm going to prime my lids with Sephora's Glitter Guard Primer. It looks like this. I'm going to apply an even layer all over my lid. I'm not going to go any further than my lid. And then I'm going to start pressing glitter, literally craft glitter that I got from Michaels. I'm mixing it with Sugar Pills eyeshadow in Asylum, which is a loose red glitter. Now I'm going to line my eyes on the top with a black, and then I'm going to line the underneath of my eye with a white. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of a highlight right into the red on my lid. I'm gonna add the highlight with the Vice 4 palette, and I'm gonna use this color called Fastball. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to add lashes. I use Duo Glue. You take a little bit of the glue, and you're literally going to just squeeze a tiny bit out, and you're just gonna kind of glide it along the strip of the lash. My favorite mascara ever is the Dior Addict It Lash. Now, you're not gonna put these on immediately because the glue will glue your eye shut, and I usually like to see people, take their eyes for granted. I'm not sure about eyebrows on fleek or anything, but I definitely think that seeing for sure is in. Now that my lashes are on, I'm going to contour my face using this colorful blush by Sephora. It is in Tranquil. I actually use this to contour my face almost every day because it is a very gray taupe shade that's really good for people with fair skin. I'm gonna contour my nose, I'm gonna contour in through here, and I think that's basically it. Just something to give my face a little bit of structure. I'm gonna use my favorite brush for this, and it is the Sephora Pro Contour Brush, number 79. It's very loose, it's not very dense, so it's not gonna pick up a ton of product, and it's going to apply your product in a very diffused and soft way. When you're using it, you're going to buff it in circular motions and lightly sweep. Be careful not to pick up too much powder all at once. Now, coming from my eyes, I'm going to draw very, very, very thin, bluish, purplish veins coming from my eyes. I want it to look like my skin is very thin because I'm so pale that you can see my veins right through it. You're gonna need a really tiny brush for this. Now I'm going to use a very, very neutral, grayish taupey lip color. I'm going to be using Jeffree Star's Velour Liquid Lipstick in Posh Spice. It's probably my favorite shade of his entire collection, honestly. Now that I'm done applying my lips, I'm going to add a little bit of Mehron's Coagulated Blood Gel around my mouth.
I want to suck your blood.
And that is a wrap, friends. This is the completed look. I guess I shall call it a Glam Vampire. Thank you guys so much for watching, subscribing, and following me. I really appreciate it. The response that I've gotten so far is amazing, and I can't wait to keep on making more videos.